A seafarer successfully sued his employers for unpaid wages, benefits, and damage after being illegally dismissed for refusing to sign a reprimand, underscoring the significance of just cause and procedural due process. Case title: Transglobal Maritime Agency versus Vicente D. Chua Jr. GR number 22430. Decision date August 30, 2017. The case involves Vicente D. Chua Jr., a seafarer who was employed as an able-bodied seaman by Transglobal Maritime Agency Incorporation, Goodwood Shipment Management, and Michael Istaniel. The petitioner's Chua was assigned to the vessel MT Wawasan Ruby under a 9-month contract with a probation period of 3 months. Incident in dismissal on January 26, 2012, Chua and his companions returned late from shore leave, which led to a reprimand from ship captain on January 30, 2012. Chua and the other refused to sign the reprimand and acknowledge the vessel logbook entry. As a result, they were dismissed from employment and repatriated to the Philippines on February 3, 2012. Chua filed a complaint for illegal dismissal, claiming non-payment of salaries, withholding of documents, and seeking moral and exemplary damage. Along with attorney's fee, the labor arbiter ruled that while Chua was dismissed for just cause, he was not given proper notice of termination. The National Labor Relations Commission affirmed this decision and awarded nominal damage due to the lack of due process. However, the Court of Appeals reserved the NLRC decision, finding that Chua had been illegally dismissed and ordering the petitioners to pay unpaid wages, benefits, damages, attorney's fees, and illegal interest. The petitioners appealed to the Supreme Court, arguing that the finding of NLRC and the labor arbiter should be upheld. They asserted that Chua's refusal to sign the reprimand constituted insubordination, which justified his dismissal. However, the Supreme Court found the appeal partially meritorious. The court ruled that Chua's refusal to sign the reprimand and logbook entry did not amount to insubordination. The act of disobedience concisely, the Supreme Court affirmed the CA decision. The Supreme Court emphasized the importance of the just cause and procedural due process in termination cases. The penalty imposed for employee misconduct should be proportionate to the offense committed. Employers must ensure that termination due process comply both substantive and procedural requirements to avoid claims of illegal dismissal. Transglobal Maritime Agency, Goodwood Shipment Management, and Michael Istaniel had duty to follow the legal standards of just cause, the procedural due process in terminating the employment of Vicente D. Chua Jr. as employers. They were required to ensure that any dismissal was based on valid reason and that proper procedures were followed, including giving the employees a chance to be heard. On the other hand, Vicente D. Chua Jr. had the duty to perform his work as the able seaman responsibly and comply with responsible rules and regulation on board the vessel. The improper and disproportionate dismissal of Chua caused him to suffer financially harm and emotional distress. The lack of due process directly resulted in the illegal dismissal claim, while Chua's refusal to sign the reprimand triggered the dismissal. It was not severe enough to justify the termination, as ruled by the Supreme Court. The dismissal, therefore, was not the proportionate consequences of his action. The damages, compensation, the court ordered to petitioners to compensate Chua for his unpaid wages and benefits, as well as moral and exemplary damage, attorney's fees, and legal interest. The court found that the damage were warrant due to the unjust and procedural flawed termination. In conclusion, the Supreme Court affirmed that the petitioner violated their duty to follow just cause and procedural due process in terminating Chua. The disproportionate penalty of dismissal and the lack of due process rendered the termination illegal. The decision underscores the importance of balancing employee misconduct with fair and lawful termination procedures. Thank you.